Swear to God.
Real quick before doing things. Big forward one. Great thing, voice man.
You're sexy. Was that unprofessional of me? I don't know. I'm sorry, but like, I'm just like, damn.
I guess he thought that I had something hidden in my bra, maybe. After he asked me to lift up my shirt and shake my bra, I started crying.
Here's when officers exploit their position to take advantage, crossing the line from protectors to predators, leaving the victims vulnerable and powerless. You won't believe it until you see it, just how far this went. In 2015, Officer Doug Rose of the Chandler Police Department unlawfully entered Esmeralda Dossie's home, arrested her while she was wearing only a towel, and humiliated her in front of her child, an obvious display of disgusting misconduct. It starts when Officer Rose enters Esmeralda's home without permission or a warrant while she was fresh out of the shower, only to question her about a domestic dispute at another location. Ignoring her attempts to explain, he dismisses her outright, relying solely on video footage while warning her that any further commotion will land her in jail for the night, making it clear that he isn't there for justice, he's there to assert control.
Wait, hold on, no, I'm recording, okay? You will not off me again. My name is Officer Rose of the Chandler Police Department. I'm here to reference an incident that occurred a few minutes ago at another house. You were telling me you were there, correct? Okay. Any particular reason you caused a disorder?
Oh, I'm trying to tell you, but all you want to hear is what you saw in the video.
Well, because the video is pretty damning.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know. You can make anything look damning if you don't record what happens 10 minutes before it all happens.
See, but I have two other witnesses.
Baby, oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Here's what I'm telling you. You are
Okay.
not allowed back over there again, period.
Oh.
You understand me?
Okay.
Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand. Are you done?
No, I am not.
Okay, well,
If you cause another commotion like that,
commotion. Okay.
there's statutes on the domestic violence statute that states you have to spend the night in jail. Okay? Anybody who commits a violation of a statute that falls under the domestic violence one, there's like 17 of them, you could spend the night in jail. Do you understand that?
Yeah, over there. I don't want to, get that close to you.
Why don't we call me back and I'll take her to jail tonight?
No, for what?
And I'll get statements from those two
What?
when they want to get back over there, okay?
No, you don't.
Without warning, Officer Rose declares Esmeralda under arrest, and his predatory behavior becomes disturbingly clear. Still, wrapped in only a towel, she resists as he grabs her, repeatedly pleading for him not to touch her. Yet, that's what he does. He gropes her fully, touching her in her private places, and that too, in front of her child. To make matters worse, his body camera is conveniently turned off.
No, you will not! I'm not doing anything!
You are under
I
arrest.
will not touch you! Don't touch me!
Under arrest.
Don't
Please
touch
turn
me!
around.
Don't touch me! I didn't want to touch you! Don't touch me!
As the other officer requests Esmeralda's child to bring her clothing, she is disturbed by seeing the physical and mental abuse that her mother is going through. Even though Esmeralda begs to be covered, yet Rose remains indifferent, coldly stating that the towel is enough. She is visibly horrified, but Rose appears unconcerned, only proving his dominance.
Go get your mom some clothes. Go get your mom some clothes. Go get your mom some clothes. Go get your mom some clothes, please. Get her some clothes.
At this point,
Please cover me, please.
At this point, you are under arrest for domestic violence.
You know what? Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug.
I don't want to touch you. I don't want to touch you.
Officer Rose.
No, your attitude puts you here.
She just wants to argue with me instead of getting close and tell me what to do. Can we just go?
As if the humiliation wasn't enough, Rose and his fellow officer turns his attention to Esmeralda's child, belittling them for daring to stand up to him. Meanwhile, Esmeralda, still handcuffed and exposed, is forced to listen to his condescending lecture. But Rose's belief in his untouchable authority doesn't last. An internal investigation later confirms what the footage made undeniable. He illegally entered the home, made an unjustified arrest, and falsified his reports.
You know how to undo handcuffs? No? Okay. I don't want this to fall. I can hold on to this. If she turns around, that could be a problem.
I don't think she's always everything.
any correspondence to him to a bare minimum, okay? And I will get an attorney as soon as possible. It's not the best of things, okay? It's not the best solution, but keeping the logbook, okay? I mean, a logbook, a written one, dates and times, coinciding with videos and recordings of the incident.
And over here, she's telling me what to do in this situation with all this chaos going on in the house. She's trying to tell me what to do. She's 15. She doesn't have any business telling a 40-year-old man who's wearing a police uniform doing an investigation what to do. So if that continues as she grows up, it's going to be a really rough life for her.
I know she did it to protect me.
I don't doubt that, and I don't fault her for it. She wants to protect you. She's probably going through hell. She's probably going through hell right now, and I feel for her. But when I look at her, yeah, when I look at her, I see my 14-year-old daughter, and she needs. I would look into counseling for her if you haven't already. Call us if he comes.
But I don't have your card number.
Yeah, just call 911.
911.
Okay.
I told you 911 if he shows up.
It may not be us, it might be somebody else, but
In the end, Esmeralda sued both Officer Rose and the city of Chandler. The case settled for $125,000, and Rose, instead of facing real consequences, quietly retired from the police force. This wasn't just an overreach, it was a clear abuse of power. The only reason this case saw any form of justice was because body cam footage exposed the truth. Without it, would Rose have ever been held accountable? Or would this have been just another instance of a cop abusing his authority and walking away unscathed? That sure was disturbing, because when cops pray, no place is as safe as in this next case. A routine traffic stop on an average day in Tennessee soon turned into something much worse. State Trooper Isaiah Lloyd pulled Patricia over for not wearing her seatbelt, but what should have been a quick ticket became a nightmare. It starts with Lloyd asking the standard questions, while Patricia, nervously but politely, reassures him that she has no drugs or alcohol. Despite her clear-headed response and lack of any suspicious behavior, Lloyd decided to have her step out of the car. A routine stop? More like the start of a very bad day, and it takes a darker turn when Trooper Lloyd then instructed Patricia to place her hands on the hood of his patrol car.
No, I'm telling you now, no drugs, no nothing, no alcohol.
You hear the good price on this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Ma'am.
Sorry. What? I'm thinking of my mama over here. No. I do no drugs, no nothing. Swear to God.
Down real quick before the license. Before his voice.
Instead of conducting a standard search for illegal items, Lloyd's hands wandered to places they had no business being. What followed wasn't just a violation of protocol, but a clear crossing of the line. Patricia later recalled the horrifying details, and it became clear as day that it wasn't police work. It was an outright violation of her rights and her body, leaving her shaken and outraged. Safe to say, this was a frisk no one should have ever had to endure. After the humiliating search, Trooper Lloyd decided to up the ante by administering a field sobriety test, even though Patricia had showed zero signs of impairment. For 15 long minutes, he seemed determined to catch her slipping, though she passed with flying colors. Still unsatisfied, Lloyd pressed on with more sobriety tests. Patricia, growing more confused and scared by the minute, explained that she only took prescribed sleep meds, occasionally. But Lloyd acted like he hadn't heard a word. After what felt like a marathon, Patricia finally received a ticket, not for drugs or alcohol, but for her original seatbelt violation. She figured, like the rest of us, that this disturbing check was finally over. But Lloyd wasn't done with her just yet.
The only thing I take is, and that's at not, I take, what's the name of it? To help me sleep. No, I take that quarter. the name of it? Yes. I mean, it's not something that I take every day, but I normally have to take it every other night, but I don't take any kind of narcotic or anything else. I can't sleep. It is? I told them specifically I wanted nothing narcotic. Well, I took that for, I think, not even a month, and I thought it didn't work for me. But, I don't even remember the name of it because where it's generic, but,
Stay like that. What you do, you don't get my take over there. When I tell you what you gotta do, you take on this step, play line, like so. 1, 2, 3. Put it to non-step, you left it on the ground. Take it to the small step, you left it on the ground. Take on this step, back to the next step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it back to the side. Keep your arms down by your side. Down loud, lift yourself, okay? Keep it. Non-step. When you're left, you'll go step back, right? Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. If you want, on the next one, you can play uphill, downhill, left, right, I don't care, it's up to you, okay? What we're going to do next, you can put your toes together, arms down by your side, raise one foot, I don't care which one, you can be 6 inches, go around like so, arms down, both legs straight, you can stretch your toes and count out loud like so until I say stop. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, you can do it like that.
Hours later, as Patricia headed home from work, there he was again. Same patrol car, same officer. This time, Lloyd made a dramatic U-turn and pulled her over. The reason this time? Apparently, her window tint was too dark. This was starting to feel more like a bad episode of Cops than real life. Once again, she was ordered out of the car, and it was the same humiliating routine. Lloyd groping her inappropriately, patting her crotch and buttocks, and even sliding his hands under her shirt and into her pants. When asked if she thought Lloyd was flirting with her, Patricia hesitated but admitted to it, and also revealed that he had tried to make a sick come on. His words, along with his actions, showed an officer who definitely didn't stay true to his oath to serve and protect.
Then proceeded to ask me if I was on drugs or alcohol. I told him no. I told him no drugs, no alcohol, nothing. And I mean, I was completely humiliated, being pulled out of a car for the first time, being touched the way I was touched, in the areas that I was touched. It's completely not right. He had me spread my legs, put my hands on the hood of the car, told me to bend and arch my hips. Then he patted me down in my crotch area and my buttocks area. Then he proceeded to take his hands to the front of my stomach area. He fought with my shirt, my clothing for a minute, asked if I would then lift up my shirt. I did. Then he put his hands all the way down in the front of my pants and then all the way around. How is this okay? Just asked me to lift my shirt and then proceeded with the rest of the, what are they? Sobriety tests.
Underneath the hood of the car, where his hands are, how far in my pants he is, and how long it takes him to remove his hands from that area. I felt like I was harassed and stalked.
Do you think he was following you?
Yes, I think he was waiting. Being pulled over second time, not even a quarter of a mile away from my home, that then scared me. That's why I felt like I was being stalked.
Was he flirting with you? What did he say?
I felt that he was. When he said we have to stop meeting like this, I felt like that was a compliment.
Following the incident, Patricia filed a formal complaint with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. An investigation was launched, and the body cam footage only confirmed what she had feared all along and what was obvious. Lloyd's conduct wasn't just inappropriate, it was predatory. But what happens when an officer uses his power to manipulate, coerce, and commit an even greater crime? Let's see in this next case. On April 17, 2023, in the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Officer D'Angelo Reyes, who was a 5-year veteran of the Tulsa Police Department, was on duty searching for a murder suspect. Instead, he approached a woman walking her dog near a local motel. It started off innocently enough, with Reyes asking a few casual questions, and the woman innocently answered that she lived at the Studio Motel nearby, and so far, it seemed like a normal conversation between a cop and a civilian, but then it took a troubling turn.
Okay.
I mean, I heard some noise that direction, but I didn't see
Okay.
anybody.
Oh, do you live around here?
Yeah, I stay at the motel.
Oh, which one?
The studio.
Oh, okay.
He proceeds with giving the woman a fake name for himself, which immediately raised red flags. What followed was an inappropriate comment that no professional should ever make, especially a police officer. Clearly crossing the line, the officer then asked her where he could find her later that evening. This was no longer a normal conversation.
What's your name?
My name?
Mm-hmm. I'm Eric.
Nice to meet you.
You're sexy. Was that unprofessional of me? I don't know. I'm sorry, but like, I'm just like, damn.
It was heading into disturbing territory. Reyes then asked the woman where he could find her. When she responded, it seemed to encourage him because then he boldly asks her if she had a room at the motel. When she said that she lived there alone with her dog, Reyes continued his advances, unbothered by the fact that he was on duty, wearing a badge, and supposed to be upholding the law, not breaking it. Then the body camera footage cuts off.
You just chilling tonight?
I mean, probably.
Okay. If I'm wandering around, where should I wander?
Probably somewhere around the Studio Star.
At the Studio Star. Okay.
People call me Red.
Red? You got a room? Okay.
It's me and my dog Felony.
Oh, really? Okay.
What happened next, as revealed by investigators, would lead to Reyes' downfall. According to the victim, Reyes called her later that night and asked her outright if she was a prostitute, having checked her information in the police department database and finding her extensive criminal history. It was intended to control and frighten the woman into submission. Then the truth came to light.
It wouldn't take much to put a person like her back in prison because he had seen her record by running her, and she was frightened. She was fearful of what would transpire. Reyes admitted that he was untruthful in his initial interview. He also admitted that he used a false name, as the victim described, the name Eric. We believe that she was being preyed upon.
The woman stated that Reyes sexually assaulted her in her motel room using protection, which then got rid of by flushing it down the toilet. She was afraid that he could manipulate evidence, conduct unjust arrests, or potentially cause her to vanish from within the system due to his power. When confronted by the Tulsa Police Department's Special Victims Unit, Reyes initially denied the allegations. At first, he claimed that they had never had sex. However, when pressed, he confessed to it, arguing that it was consensual, a claim that the woman strongly denied. Just a few months after the incident, Officer Reyes quietly handed in his badge back to the Tulsa Police Department on June 9th, but his retirement didn't last long. The very next day, he was arrested, facing charges of first-degree rape, because in the end, a badge should never be a shield for abuse. But what happens when an officer doesn't just use his power to intimidate, but to humiliate? The next case is degrading as it is infuriating. It was a regular day in May when Zoe Brugger, fresh from running errands, was eager to get home to her 2-week-old son. But her normal afternoon quickly turned into something else when Lakeland police officer Dustin Fetz pulled her over for a broken headlight and left her feeling violated and stripped of her dignity. From the moment Officer Fetz approached Brugger's vehicle, something seemed off. He immediately fixated on her nervousness, which, as Brugger would later explain, came from the anxiety of being pulled over by law enforcement and her desire to get home to her newborn son. Instead of addressing the broken headlight, the officer became suspicious, which led to...
I looked way too nervous to not have any drugs on me. You know, I told him I'm just trying to get home to my 2-week-old son. I guess he thought that I had something hidden in my bra, maybe.
The officer made a request so outlandish that it left her stunned. He asked her to lift her shirt and shake her bra. Yes, you heard that right. In complete disbelief, Brugger complied, pulling her bra away from her chest and giving it a shake. Spoiler alert, no drugs or weapon fell out, just a broken headlight and a whole lot of trauma. But instead of wrapping things up, vets had the audacity to ask her to do it again, because apparently one humiliating shake wasn't enough. What made the situation even worse, the whole bra shaking thing wasn't even part of standard police procedure. In fact, it wasn't a sanctioned search method at all. Brugger, like many of us, had no idea that what was happening was wildly out of line and likely illegal. Had she known her rights, she might have told Officer Fetz to take his bra shaking request and shove it. The Lakeland Police Department was quick to distance itself from Fetz's actions. After Brugger filed a complaint, an internal investigation was launched, and the department admitted that this was definitely not something they trained officers to do. Turns out, bra shaking isn't a skill they teach at the police academy. Who knew? Despite how serious the incident was, Officer Fetz faced surprisingly mild consequences, a 4-day administrative leave. That's right, after causing Brugger serious trauma and putting both of them at risk, he was back on the beat in no time after a vacation.
It is not a practice that we train for in the department. It is not taught at the academy.
Let's not forget the complete lack of reasonable suspicion. The only thing wrong with Brugger's car was a broken headlight, not some secret stash of contraband in her bra. Brugger, now well aware of her rights, has since become an advocate for women in similar situations. Her message is simple but powerful. Knowing your legal rights can stop invasive and unnecessary searches before they start.
Women need to know their rights when they're pulled over. The last thing you expect is to have to show off your body to a police officer.
Just some important facts here. The investigation into this matter found that there were no facts to give reasonable suspicion that Ms. Brugger had either drugs or weapon. There was no probable cause. And the state's attorney's office also points out something interesting. If the officer did suspect she had a weapon or something, the bra shank would be dangerous. Shaking the bra would be dangerous for police because if she was hiding some kind of weapon inside the bra, it would give the perp a chance to reach for it.
That's actually an excellent point. Well, it looks like now there are going to be changes in policy.
Yeah, they won't be doing this again.
Wow, John.